With 5 lottery companies and 3 national lottery games, it's little wonder that Canada has produced some huge lottery winners throughout the years. But even so, the sheer number of multi-millionaire winners beggars belief. And we're not just talking about a few $1,000,000 here, we're talking tens of millions. But before we get to talking about the biggest lottery wins that have changed the lives of some very lucky Canadians, let's have a quick look at Canadian lotteries in general. How Canadian lotteries work. Well, first thing you need to know is that there are 5 lottery companies that operate in specific areas in Canada. The companies are Atlantic Lottery Corporation, British Columbia Lottery Corporation, Ontario Lottery and Gaming Corporation, Lotto Quebec, Western Canada Lottery Corporation. While each corporation sets their own rules and regulations in their respective areas, all 5 together form the Interprovincial Lottery Corporation that runs the national lottery games. So what about those nationwide lottery games? Well, as mentioned earlier, there are 3 games. These are the Lotto Max, Lotto 649ths, and the Daily Grand. The Daily Grand is a pretty incredible one, as the winner gets $1,000 a day for the rest of their lives. Tickets cost $3 a pop, and you need to match 5 numbers from 1 to 49 along with a grand number from 1 to 7. Lotto 649ths is exactly what it says it is. Pick 6 numbers from 1 to 49. Tickets cost $3 and you get 2 sets of numbers. The first one is for the main draw, and the second set is for a bonus draw for $1 million. Then there's the Lotto Max. Tickets for this draw cost $5, and for that you get 3 sets of 7 numbers. The local lotteries have a variety of different games, but the 3 national ones listed above are the most popular overall. So now you know how the lotteries work. Let's take a look at those winners. Number 1. Record-setting $70 million jackpot in Toronto. Early last year, a lucky Canadian from Brampton, Toronto, bought a lottery ticket that turned out to be the biggest lottery jackpot ever in Canada, according to this source. The winner, Adlin Lewis, was a credit risk manager with a reputation for being lucky. Indeed, the 49-year-old had won a car in 2019 and 2 holiday draws at his workplace. And get this, Lewis won the $70 million jackpot using a free play ticket. That's why, when he realized he had the winning numbers, he remained doubtful about his ticket until he scanned it on the OLG app. Interestingly, Adlin wasn't the only lucky player in January's big draw. At least 6 people won $1 million each, 2 people won $500,000 each, and 2 more tickets worth $333,333.40 were paid out in Toronto and Sudbury. Number 2. Another $70 million jackpot in Quebec. Shortly after Adlin Lewis won $70 million from a jackpot in January last year, a 22-year-old later got the same amount of luck. Gregory Mathieu, a 22-year-old grocery store bagger, had been struggling to save enough money to afford an apartment when he played Lotto Max. Like many people, Gregory included his favorite number, 10, in his ticket. The number had a significant place in his family. It was the day his elder sister died. Luckily, this number helped Matthew and his family win the biggest jackpot ever in Quebec, $70 million. When asked how he planned to use the jackpot, Matthew said he would share it with members of his family. Matthew didn't have to split his windfall with anyone because he won it alone. Nevertheless, he was free to spend the money in whichever way he wanted. Number 3. A $65 million jackpot in Calgary, Alberta. In October 2019, a 63-year-old man from Calgary won the biggest jackpot ever in Alberta. Tai Trin, the winner, had been buying lottery tickets at the Saint Shell tour for years. Then came October 4th, the day his efforts would pay off. Tai didn't tell any of his family members about his windfall until he confirmed it with Lotto Max authorities. It was the biggest jackpot in Canada's history at the time, and so Tai wanted to be certain he was the true winner. According to Lotto Max officials, Tai was the 200th winner of the Lotto Max game since its launch in 2009. In Calgary, Tai was the 29th winner of the pot, eclipsing the second largest jackpot in Alberta by $25 million. Number 4. A $64 million jackpot in Ontario. In 2016, A lucky woman was the winner of the biggest jackpot in Canada's history at the time. Jiwan from Mississauga, Ontario, had purchased a Lotto 649th ticket in October 15 and remained quiet about it for weeks. After claiming her $64 million jackpot, she also chose not to do a news conference to protect her family's right to privacy. All the same, Juan won the Lotto prize alone, an amount of money that certainly changed her family's lives. Number 5. 4 winners of a $63 million jackpot. In 2013, 4 Canadians shared a whopping $63 million windfall in the country's biggest jackpot ever at the time. 3 of the winners hailed from British Columbia, while the 4th was a native of Alberta. At the time the winner numbers were announced, lottery officials hoped to pay out $55 million. Then ticket sales surged, and the grand prize jumped to $63.4 million. Owing to this, the 4 winners shared nearly $16 million each. Although sharing the jackpot resulted in smaller but decent wins, they were much better than the jackpot shared by 17 oil and gas workers in 2005. The workers had bought the winning ticket of $54.3 million jackpot, but after splitting the money, they settled for $3.1 million each. Number 6. A $60 million jackpot in Alberta. One of the most common tricks people use to win lottery jackpots is to buy tickets using the same numbers repeatedly. Sometimes this strategy works, like in the case of 55-year-old Bon Truong of Edmonton, Alberta. Truong had been picking the same lottery numbers for over 30 years. He was already used to losing. But even after he won, he remained calm and only phoned his wife to inform her he had won some money without mentioning the amount. Interestingly, Truong took 10 months to claim his jackpot winnings. The pot had a 12-month validity, which is why he was not in a hurry to claim the money. He took so long to claim the money to prepare his family psychologically for the changes in lifestyle they experience after the windfall. Number 7. A $39.5 million jackpot in BC. 2019 was a year of big lottery wins in Canada. Although Ty closed the year with the biggest triumph, it was Surrey's Michelle de Roma who won the first big jackpot of the year. She had purchased her ticket on December 28 in 2018. Then at the start of 2019, she received news she had won $39.5 million from a jackpot. Immediately after the news, she booked a trip to Italy to visit her mother. But before she went, she gave her husband the best birthday party he had for years. Surrey has a history of producing lottery winners. In 2013, a man who had purchased a pair of tickets with the same numbers doubled his prize money to $31.6 million after his lucky numbers won the jackpot. Finally, in 2010, a couple in Surrey had won $25 million to set a record for BC. Number 8. Craig Henshaw from Ontario. $21 million. Craig had a rough time with people begging him for money, so he quit his job as a teacher and even spent some time hiding out in hotels. He's got himself back on track now though and has used his money to set up some scholarships at local schools. Number 9. Luciano Polera from Ontario. $23.6 million. This winner in Ontario had played the lottery every Friday for 40 years before finally landing the big one. At first, he thought he had forgotten one of his numbers and missed out on the jackpot, but luckily for him, he was mistaken. Number 10. Gord and Betty Collins from Placentia. $30 million. Imagine walking around with a winning lottery ticket in your pocket for a week. Now imagine how it would feel to check and realize that not only was it a winner, but it was for a $30 million jackpot. That's what happened to semi-retired pharmacist Gord Collins, who we imagine retired from his job on the spot. These are just a few of the lucky Canadians who have won big in the lottery. From Mitchell Dyke's $70 million win to John Chua's $60 million win, these stories show that anyone can become a lottery winner. Whether you play regularly or rarely, it's possible to win big if you have a bit of luck and patience. Take a look at our guide about the easiest lotteries to win in Canada. These stories also remind us that lottery winners can use their money for good, whether it's helping out family and friends, investing in real estate, donating to charity, or seeing the world. So if you have dreams of becoming a lottery winner, remember to think about how you can use your winnings for the greater good. If you enjoyed this video, Please like and subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on social media for more updates.